Hey, what's up, guys? It's T-Bone here. So earlier today, Alex from Network posted the 3.0 Roundup, which is the details and information around the legendary 3.0 that is due to come out on February 13th in the next Water Slayer event. Now, this is also information that Dan Barnes, the COO of the company, provided during his Ask Me Anything session. And this is information that we've been looking forward to for a while now. So what I want to do in today's episode is go over sort of the high level information and provide my reaction and my thoughts about it as well. And hopefully we can engage in some conversations around, is this something that you're looking forward to? And do you think this is something that you will enjoy? So if we kind of just go over the high level points, they sort of structured it by talking about what their goals are and what those mean, and then go into more detail. So the first thing is we can look at the points here. So the goal for Legendary 3.0 is to, number one, aim to never introduce new species and continue reintroduce power creep. And number two, to have actual forever decks where there's going to be a time when you will have a maxed out deck and there's no pressure to spend or continue to work on them. And number three, they want to make collecting cards and building decks a rewarding investment over time so that every card you get is supposed to go toward this final ultimate deck collection. And the fourth point is to have increasingly interesting decisions to swap in different heroes based on the challenges of an event. So it's all about deck building and sort of being able to work towards something. And why that's important. So they think that, every card that you get from anywhere in the game is going to help progressing toward the ultimate form, and there's going to be some real value in collecting these cards over time. So now they kind of go over then what it is. So there's two main areas that they say are going to change. The first one is the heroes, and the second thing is the way that you can get these heroes. And so if we kind of just skip forward to the heroes part, what they say is the way you get heroes and legendary is going to be completely changed. Firstly, every event hero will now be available in the packs, meaning no more waiting for event heroes to be added to the packs. That means no more waiting a year to get access to previously released heroes you know and love. This is because now all heroes will have value, whether in certain situations such as the Spire or challenge missions, as part of the event deck in interesting and unexpected ways, or in terms of being materials to achieve the ultimate form. So before I go into the next part where it talks about ultimate forms in detail, I just want to kind of comment on this part where they say that heroes are now going to be available in all packs. So there is definitely, this notion that right now when you open a pack, it doesn't feel as rewarding given the random nature of the packs because they haven't updated the pool of the packs. So oftentimes, if you don't get the event card, you end up with really low level, old sort of cards that you just feel there's no value to you. So if I'm reading this correctly, what this means is you will probably get better heroes. If you don't get the event hero, you will get something from the past that you might actually want that you didn't get a chance to collect. And if you get something, it will also have increased value because it can then sort of help you toward the one that you want to evolve. That's how I'm reading it. And to me, that I think it's still, I'm still trying to put my head around it. But if there's an increased chance for me to get a better hero, like an event card, or an ultra rare card from the past that I couldn't get, or a very nice support card that I wish I had an extra of, and if there's a chance for me to get that by opening a tier or two of a pack, I would appreciate that very much, right? So if this is how they're going to implement it, then I think it's a very welcoming change. I don't really need to invest a lot. I can open a couple of tiers here and there and hopefully get something that I want. That's how I'm reading it, but it doesn't really necessarily mean that I'm going to get the exact one I need or want. So there's always that chance, and that's the sort of the flip side to it, is that the randomness of what you can get is oftentimes also the most frustrating aspect of this game, or basically of this sort of experience. So I'm looking, I guess I'll have to see how it works in practice, but this to me initially feels like it should be a more positive experience, at least when opening packs. Now let's talk about the ultimate forms. This is really one of the things that they talked about for a while, and this is the one that they really sort of, have been hyping up. So in Legendary 3.0, they're going to introduce Ultimate Form, the most powerful heroes in the game, and the output of everything you do and get in Legendary. For each affinity/event type combo, there will be an Ultimate Form, and every card you get will help you in your progress towards this form. there will be 5 species per event type affinity combo, a full deck, which will repeat after the cycle is completed. Once achieved, the ultimate form will be the best answer to all event changes because of the unique characteristics it has. And then it goes on to list 6 different things. So the first one is the ultimate form is going to have a higher max level, base stats, and empowerment level, represented by pink stars on the front of the card. So this one is interesting because empowerment right now is, for the new Generation 3 cards, is 10 times the affinity. So compared to previous cards, which has twice the affinity bonus, this one has 10. So if now by having more pink stars means you have higher empowerment, you're immediately going to have much higher damage output of that card, which makes it a lot more valuable. And I can see why this is a good sort of a good way to make progress there. But I am curious how that doesn't control the power creep, because if you can get to 20 times the empowerment, then you are effectively going to be able to take out the boss that much easier. And at some point, what do you do to balance that out? Will you have to increase the boss level in order to account for that? How are they going to address it? That's a question that I think we need to be asking. And then the second point, they will have highest killer skill, which makes them powerful towards certain species. So that one's not too clear what the killer skills are. And number 3, they will be able to create ultimate gems, giving your team massive power. Again, not really sure what that is, but I'm assuming it's kind of like power gem, except it's only going to be created if you have an ultimate form card in your team. And number 4 is, they will inherit characteristics from both the ultra rare and the master collection card, which could include passive skills, leader skills, counter skills, and battle skills. So I don't know if this means you can only combine ultra rare cards and sort of master collection cards of the same species. If you can mix species and mix around, then I think this is a really powerful mechanic, because now you truly can open it up to different cards and creating a combination of your own choice. I've always sort of thought that having more choice is a better way to go. So giving us a recipe that we have to follow, say, you can only use an ultra rare and a master collection card from the same event and build basically a single card as a combination of both, is nice, but it's basically just one card that can do 2 different cards abilities, as opposed to saying, I really like this ability from this one card, and I have another thing that I really like from this other card from completely different events, combine them and get something new from it. I think that's the true power there. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but that's what I would have liked to see. And they're going to have higher counter skill levels, so this is going to be important for things like guild versus guild. And how that's going to impact the guild versus guild play is something we need to be asking, because this is the one area where a lot of people are saying we need to balance better. So there's no real details there, but I think that's something we could think about. And number 6, the ultimate form will give their killer skill to all similar in the team, meaning that you can truly mix and match the rest of the deck cards around it to achieve your ideal result. So without knowing what the killer skill really is, I can't really say much, but I guess what that really means is this is something that's going to improve your deck overall by having the ultimate forms. And so let's see. The relics. So they talk about relics here. We're going to now also have Generation 3 relics that's also capable of achieving ultimate form, and they're going to have a unique set of characteristics. So not sure what that's going to look like yet, but you can use relic dust, which you can get by basically selling your old relics to collect these dust, and you can use that to create them. So I'm sure more information will come out. And so how do you get the pink star? So in order to get a pink star, you need to use the master collection card, the ultra rare, and 2 types of dust, a regular dust and a Generation 3 dust. So it's now the question is, how hard is it going to get those Generation 3 dust and gold? So if it's just a master collection card and an ultra rare card, that in itself is already kind of difficult, because you have to give up a master collection card, and you have to give up an ultra rare card, and you have to collect different type of dust. So what we don't want is for this to be another dragoon type card that is impossible to evolve, because it's impossible to get the catalyst. So I'm hoping that's not the case. And in order to help that though, so you can notice that in order to get an ultra rare card, it could be a very, very expensive card, but what they've done is they're sort of changing the way we get our cards by changing the pack structure. So the first thing that they're saying is all heroes will now be immediately available from the packs. They're going to change the way the packs work to always contain all event affinity / event type heroes. That means every time you go to, like, say, the next one is going to be Water Slayer event, you're going to have all Water Slayer events that's ever been released available in the pack, including the ones from just the one past, which is from 10 weeks ago. And that includes the Master Collection card and the Ultra Rare card. So if you didn't have a chance to, to craft a Master Collection card from the last event, there's a chance that you'll get it in the pack. Now, it's probably going to be a very, very low chance for a Master Collection card, but the fact is the chance is there. And the second thing is they're going to keep the Master Pack reasonably similar, barring the changes above. And the one large change is there is also a rare chance to get the current event's Master Collection card in certain tiers. So, like in current event, for example, right now we're playing the Fire Commander event. Imagine being able to get the Master Collection card without having to collect the runes. That's what they're saying is the change for the next pack as well. So again, sort of boosting the values for the packs themselves at all tiers now. And number 3, they're going to change the Ultra Pack, which is the pack that you can open to get the support card and have a chance to get the Ultra Rare card. So the current Ultra Pack design does not align with the objectives above, where all previously released heroes should be available. For that reason, we're changing the format to be similar to the Master Pack, meaning there will now be Ultra Rare runes, a chance to get the Ultra Rare on certain tiers of the pack, and all historical event heroes and Ultra Rares added to the packs. So this one is a huge one, okay? This is big. So what this is telling us is that in addition to getting the runes for Master Collection cards, you can also get runes for Ultra Rares. So if you collect all the runes, and if it's implemented the same way as the Master Collection card, that means you can actually get an Ultra Rare card for free. So if you think about it this way, right? If you're a free-to-play player and you typically never get the Ultra Rare, or at best you would, invest 300 gems on the tier 1 of Ultra Rare pack, the chances of you getting an Ultra Rare card is basically, it's 6.5% every time. And some of you may or may not have ever gotten a Ultra Rare on tier 1. I have one time. But the thing is, it's really, really rare. So if you are a free-to-play player, that pretty much means you never get the Ultra Rare card. But with this change, that means if you're able to get the runes and you can save them over time, then you'll be able to get an Ultra Rare card at some point. And depends on the sort of the randomness nature. And again, this one comes down to implementation. If there are Ultra Rare runes also in the event collections through play, then this is a great change. If the runes are only available in the packs, you can't get it anywhere else and you have to spend to get it, then it's better than what it is now. But I think that would leave a lot of bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. If basically you go and you open a pack and what you get is a rune but not a card, and these runes, if we have the same mechanism of having to smelt 7 cards to get 1 rune towards the current Ultra Rare, then I think that's a little too much. So comes down to implementation, how they decide to go about it. I think this is a good change, but only if they do it well. Again, if it's about the experience, if it's about allowing people to get what they need and what they want, then I would want to make this even easier. Let's make this really simple and let's be generous with these runes. Let's make it available like the Master Collection cards. Let's have the runes. I'm okay with the randomness, because if we can get 7 to 8 runes per event, even if we can't craft it that event, we could save it for the future events, and hopefully, and guaranteed, actually, eventually we will be able to get one. So that is a really, really big change for free-to-play players, which is a good one. And number 4, the Ultra Rare card will be now 13x like the Master Collection hero. It just makes the Ultra Rare that much more powerful, and it's more significant in the Slayer events because you're now going to deal a lot more damage. So it makes sense because the Ultra Rare card needs to feel special, but currently it doesn't. So that's a change there. So these are the changes there. And then in summary, what they said, they believe that this change will mean that players are going to be able to mix and match cards in many different ways to be successful. I hope that's true, because right now it's very static. Yes, there are some deck building ideas, but if you notice in the past now, I've not being able to come up with a lot of different ideas in the new meta. I'm hoping this changes that. And the entry point for a competitive deck will be easier, so all player types can make meaningful contribution to their guild and weekly events, regardless of their position in the journey to ultimate form. So when you read that, right, I think it's important to put in the lens of a couple of different types of players. Somebody who's free to play, and somebody who's willing to spend to have enjoyment. So the entry point needs to be low for the free-to-play players, and I think also, the experience to get this competitive deck for somebody who is willing to spend also needs to be delightful. And so hopefully, if this is their goal, then we will see a big difference in how we experience pack opening and also just playing through the games and also collecting our cards. So it's all about the ultimate form of the cards and also our ability to get the cards to help achieve that. And so, the Master Collection cards, Ultra Rare cards, and Ultimate Heroes can be earned over time for free due to the free runes. So again, this is exactly what I talked about, and if this is the goal that they have, then I like this change. Everything that players can collect, that the players collect can and will help them make progress in both the game and towards Ultimate Form. So that is sort of the big bet that they have for Legendary 3.0. This is something that is going to come out in the next event. So what do I think so far? I've sort of given my thoughts and my sort of feelings around this overall, but I would say I am generally positive about this change. Now, I know that there's I've heard and seen a lot of different feedback in different chats and different forums that we don't know if we trust this. That's the general sense I get. But personally, I will say this. From what I've seen, I know that they're trying to do something different, and I know that they're trying to move forward in a direction. Now, some of the things that are in the game, some of the things that, that have come out, and some of the, issues that we've seen, that's probably going to stay. Meaning we're still going to see maybe some, event flaws and sort of, different things that might annoy us from time to time. But I feel that as a sort of a big broad stroke level type change, this is something that I'm looking forward to. The ability for us to sort of have a open-ended end game where we can pick and choose the cards that we want and we want to develop, that is a little different than somebody else, means that we can build something that is truly our own. And if we make this very free to play friendly, then now we've opened the playing field to a lot more people, and we can make this, not about who can buy the most packs, but who can work, who can be more creative about doing something that really works. And I'm hoping that, eventually they also look at how we can make it even more strategic without tying our hands behind our backs through the lack of the battle skills or just making cards really lackluster. But instead making it rewarding for us getting and achieving the ultimate form, making the game reward us through the play, through the cards that we get. So these are sort of just things that I'm looking forward to. And I think that right now I am feeling pretty positive about it. Again, it all comes down to how things will work out once we actually see it. So looking forward to the event. Again, this will be available on February 13th when the event comes out. I'll definitely be covering that when it does, and we will see how it goes. And who knows, I might even save a little bit of gems here to open a pack or two just to see what we get. So thanks a lot for listening. Let me know what you think. Let me know. I'm going to be looking at the forums as well to see what people think, but feel free to comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are, and let me see, we can see what you think about it. So thanks a lot for listening, and we will see you in the next episode. Take care.